So this is top 8 of our Burning Shadows League Cup. On the left-hand side, we have Kevin Garcia versus Noel. We do see the very popular Volcanion deck. Actually, both decks are popular this tournament. There are quite a few Volcanions and quite a few Ninetales decks. I believe there are 3 Volcanions in top 8 and 2 Ninetales. But there were more Ninetales being played by some of the other players who did not make top 8. We see Kevin start with that Ho-Oh GX. We see an Ultra Ball. If it's going to be a typical Volcanion turn, we might see a Tapu Lele and a Kiawe. Seeing what he discards here. See an Ultra Ball discarding the Rescue Stretcher. Okay. Let's see what Kevin grabs here. We do see they just play the Kiawe. Gonna count, see how many cards are in his, what's missing. How many Volcanion does he have? Because that baby Volcanion is very important in this matchup. If you're not able to knock out these Alolan Ninetales before they get set up, you're going to have a rough time. We do see that Wonder Tag for the turn 1 Kiawe. I do believe Kevin has a Max Elixir in hand, so we might see that as well. So we'll see a Fury Belt going on to that Ho-Oh GX, a Max Elixir trying to hit an energy to put on the Tapu Lele on the bench, and we do see the energy onto the Tapu Lele. And then of course we're going to see the Kiawe to end turn 1, going to allow Kevin to attach 4 energies onto that active Ho-Oh. This is set up for the turn 2 Phoenix Burn or the Sacred Fire. With the Fury Belt, he actually knocks out the active Vulpix, which is pretty important. We do see the Bodybuilding Dumbbells. Again, not a card we typically see very often. Now playing a few tricky tech cards like the Bodybuilding Dumbbells and Super Scoop Up. So we see an end for Noel. Both players will draw 6 cards. Noel, of course, hoping to hit a couple more Vulpix this turn. Maybe an Octillery for the next turn. And of course, a supporter would be great. We do see 1 Vulpix, Super Scoop Up, and 2 Octillery. Okay. So we're still into this. Again, not the best turn. You kind of want to hit the turn 1 Bridget. But that Field Blower is actually pretty important. It's going to force Kevin to use Phoenix Burn next turn if he wants to knock out one of these Vulpixes. And we'll see a Beacon. Going to let Noel search for any 2 Pokemon in his deck. We'll see a Ninetales and a Tapu Lele GX. Of course, Ninetales with that Luminous Barrier ability makes it so it can't be hurt or attack, or it can be attacked, but it can't take damage from Pokemon GX and EX. A really strong ability, especially against this Volcanion deck where they've cut a few of the baby Volcanions. So you're able to, if you're able to knock them out, you can just wall out your opponent with that Luminous Barrier. Here we'll see looks like a second Ultra Ball, discarding Ho-Oh and a Sycamore. Let's see what Kevin wants to get with this. We see a second Tapu Lele. Interesting, for an N. The other cards in his hand must be really good. He's not want to discard them like that. And we'll see an N after an energy attachment onto the Lunch Lele. I didn't get a good look at what was in his hand. Maybe could have grabbed the Volcanion and Sycamore if it was things that were too important. But who knows. So all players are going to shuffle up, draw 6 cards. Noah hoping to draw one of those Octillery. He had 2 in hand previously. Kevin looking to take a knockout this turn with that Ho-Oh. We do see a Brooklet Hill. This actually helps both players. It'll allow Kevin to grab either Staryu or Volcanion EX, and basically every card inside of Noel's deck, with the exception of Tapu Koko and Tapu Lele. So we'll see that Volcanion with the Power Heater, and we'll see a Phoenix Burn for the knockout. Promote the Remoraid. We'll see a double colorless going onto that bench Vulpix. If Noel's able to find a Alolan Ninetales this turn, that would be pretty good. We'll see a Super Scoop Up trying to pick up that Remoraid. A Tails. We'll see a second Super Scoop Up. And a Heads. Okay, picking up the Remoraid. Put it back down. We'll see an Ultra Ball discarding the Bodybuilding Dumbbells and another card I couldn't see. And we will see, more than likely, either a Tapu Lele come down this turn or a Alolan Ninetales. The Lele would allow him to grab, Sycamore and hopefully draw into it. But he does have the N in hand, which is just as good. So both players again will shuffle up. This is the third N, I believe, from both, and a combination of both players. And will we see an Aurora Beam this turn? If Noel can find the Choice Band, it actually sets the damage pretty good to take a 2-hit knockout, but we don't see a Choice Band just yet. We will see another Ultra Ball, more than likely. Going to discard. Bridget. And then N. We'll see another Vulpix come down. Just in case this Ninetales is able to get knocked out. You never know. With a couple of Steam Ups, or 3 Steam Ups, and 3 Steam Ups and a Power Heater, we'll be able to take the knockout. But currently there are no Volcanion EX on Kevin's bench. So we'll see a Aurora Beam for 80 damage. Putting Ho-Oh at 110 health left. I do believe we see a Staryu in Kevin's hand. Staryu is a pretty good card. Or Starmie is a pretty good card with that Space Beacon. Allowing your opponent, or whoever's playing the Starmie actually, to get back 2 energies from the discard pile after they discard a card from their hand. So while we see the Volcanion hit the field, if Kevin has an energy in hand, we might see a Power Heater this turn. But unless you have, the 3 Volcanion in the bench, or a second Babe Volcanion in play, I'm not too sure it's the best play. So we'll see the Staryu hit the field, setting up for that Starmie eventually. There is the Brooklet Hill option, but again, that'll help Noel just as much as it would help Kevin. So we'll see Kevin eyeing an Ultra Ball. Maybe gonna try to grab a second Volcanion, or we'll just see the Brooklet Hill. And can't Phoenix Burn this turn, but you can Sacred Fire. Does have the Starmie in hand. So what will it be? A Sacred Fire, Brooklet Hill, or try to retreat into this Babe Volcanion. Once again, he won't be able to take a knockout though because there's not enough Volcanion EX in play. Here we'll see a Lily. Interesting card. Not one that we see very often. But yeah. So we will see an energy onto that bench Volcanion. Will we see a Brooklet Hill? Or we'll just see the bench Volcanion come down from the hand. And a Sacred Fire for 50 damage onto that Vulpix on the bench. We do see a Remoraid or Octillery hit the field. A Super Rod going to put back a Vulpix and just the Vulpix into the deck. We'll see a Brooklet Hill. Probably going to grab another Vulpix or a Remoraid. Having the double Octillery is actually really, really strong. But nope, we'll just see a Vulpix. And a Sycamore. Here, hopefully trying to hit a Choice Band. And no, the Choice Band will allow this Ninetales to take the knockout onto the Ho-Oh. But we'll just see another Aurora Beam, bringing that Ho-Oh up to 160 damage, 30 away from the knockout. Back onto Kevin's turn. He has a Fire Energy, but not a whole lot of stuff to work with. We see the Starmie hit the field with that Space Beacon ability. As I mentioned earlier, it's really good. Um, Kevin has an interesting choice to make. He attached to the Tapu Lele on the bench. Another option he has is the Steam Artillery, um, to knock out the Ninetales. So that's another option that he had to himself. Could attach energy to the Volcanion. He could have still Guzma'd up the Vulpix and taken the knockout, or he could have just Sacred Fire the one on the bench. So a few different options that he had there. But attaching the energy to the Tapu Lele, it's going to make it a little bit harder for him to come back and knock out that Ninetales, especially after this play here. We'll see a Aurora Beam for the knockout. Now Kevin has no Pokemon that can actually damage this Ninetales. We'll see Ultra Ball, Fury Belt, and looks like an N. That third card might be another Brooklet Hill. Yeah, it is. If he can hit the Volcanion, it's not going to be enough without a few more on the bench. Here, do you give up the prize cards and just take a knockout on the Vulpix, or do you try to hit the active Ninetales with a Volcanion? So we'll see at Brooklet Hill. Going to grab a second Volcanion EX. Where does this leave Kevin? He might just have to take another knockout onto the bench. Vulpix this turn. His hand doesn't look very cooperative. And we'll just see a Fury Belt onto the bench Volcanion. And a N. Okay. The Fury Belt on Volcanion, it will help the Volcanion survive. Well, it'll survive a Origami no matter what. But with the Choice Band, it still gets knocked out. So we'll see if Kevin was able to draw out of this kind of a dead hand. We see a few Fire Energy, which is really good. Always a good thing for Volcanion to see a Fire Energy in hand. But again, he can't knock out this active Ninetales. But we'll see a Sacred Fire. Knocking out the Vulpix. We do see 3 energy in hand. If Kevin can somehow... No. He would need to have an open bench spot after this Ho-Oh gets knocked out to be able to take a knockout here. Benching that second Tapu Lele kind of hurting him right now. We see an Ultra Ball for a Ninetales GX. We'll see a Retreat into the Ninetales, an Abyssal Hand for 3. Field Blower discarding the Stadium and the Fury Belt. And we'll probably see just an Ice Blade for the knockout. Oh man. Kevin promoting that Tapu Lele with 1 energy. No real way to knock out this Ninetales that's active. The Volcanion EX normally can with a few Steam Ups or a Choice Band, but both Volcanion EX, neither of them have any energy on them. So we might just have to see either a Power Heater this turn, or maybe an Energy Drive, but then you just set yourself up for a Ice Path GX. So we'll see the Ultra Ball. Kind of have to play it. Yeah. More than likely going to grab a Baby Volcanion. But you're just setting yourself up for a knockout. but you do need to use Power Heater this turn to be able to power up these Volcanions on your bench. Zoro Kiawe is a pretty interesting card. I feel like sometimes it runs you out of resources too quickly. Getting 4 or 5 energies out of your deck. They end up in the discard pile fairly quickly. And if you're not able to hit max elixirs onto your bench Volcanions, you can struggle quite a bit. So we'll probably see a retreat, or maybe just a pass. One Steam Up. Or is that a space? Oh, a space beacon. Getting back 2 fire energy. So it's only 1 fire energy, you're up 2. We'll see a Guzma play. Double Steam Up. And a Power Heater. Kevin going down to 2 prizes, keeping this pretty competitive. But once again, once this active Volcanion goes down, Kevin's going to have to be able to power up his bench Volcanions and have enough energy to steam up to knock out a Ninetales GX, which a little bit scary, but we'll see a retreat or a Guzma into the Ninetales GX and a Abyssal Hand, and then we'll see a Blizzard Edge for the knockout, putting Kevin down, or Noel down to 1 prize. Kevin's at 2. No, not enough energy on the bench Volcanion to take a knockout this turn. Not too sure what Kevin can do if Noel can find another energy, which he more than likely can with that Abyssal Hand ability. We'll just see another Blizzard's Edge. So what does Kevin do here? If he retreats, the Ninetales GX just retreats into the other one, to the regular Ninetales, and takes a knockout with Aurora Beam. If you energy drive, you open yourself up to an Ice Path GX. You can maybe Space Beacon the Tapu Lele for 2 energy, and then yeah. And N won't do too much to Noel either because of that Octillery on the bench. No way to stop abilities in this deck. There's no Garbodor. Hex Maniac is no longer a card in the format. One of my favorite cards ever. It's really strong. But no longer in the format, so no use talking about it. We will see an N with that Winter Tag ability, ending Noel down to 1 card momentarily. We'll see, I believe it was Space Beacon. Attach for the turn, and then N. Both players shuffling up here. But that Ice Path GX, always something scary to deal with. I always try to avoid not hitting a Ninetales if I can, because being able to throw damage back at them is a pretty strong attack. So we do see an Energy Drive for 80 damage. A Float Stone going onto that benched Ninetales, and a Abyssal Hand for 4 cards. Now Noel needs to just hit a Choice Band to win the game. If you can't find a Choice Band, he's still going to be okay. And we do see the Choice Band off the second card of the deck. So Noel will be able to take the first game here with that Blizzard's Edge. Knocking out the Tapu Lele and forcing, or going into game 2 now. So this is game 2 now. We see Kevin starting with a Tapu Lele, not the best start. He does have Kiawe and a few energy in hand. Double Tapu Lele start. No Wonder Tags going off this turn 1 more than likely. Especially with, 5 fire energy in hand. And a Sycamore. And we do see Kevin draw a few Max Elixir. Is it 3 Max Elixir? 2, 3? A Fury Belt. But with so many energy in the discard already, the likelihood of being able to hit one of these Max Elixirs is a little bit slim. But we do see him hit the energy there. Very fortunate. I believe Kevin plays 13 fire energy. So 5 on the discard, or 4 on the discard, and 2 on the field. already. We do see a second max elixir. And let's see if he hits that one. And it looks like he failed it. So then we'll see a pass onto Noel's turn. We see energy onto the Tapu Lele and a Sycamore, discarding a whole bunch of supporters that pretty useful. Do we see a Vulpix? Not quite yet. We do see a Tapu Lele. Do you grab Bridget this turn? For the next turn? Hopefully it sticks and there's no N from Kevin. Not a great start for Noel. So back on... You have the option to attach a post summon, but I think you just hold on to that. We'll see a Guzma onto a Volcanion and a Power Heater. Going to grab 2 energy, put them onto the Tapu Lele and the Volcanion and the Fury Belt. Doing 30 damage. We'll see a Bridget for the double Vulpix and the Remoraid. We'll see a Floatstone onto the Tapu Lele. Energy onto Vulpix. More likely going to see a Retreat and a Beacon this turn. Yep. So we'll see a Beacon from the Vulpix. Going to allow Noel to get 2 Pokemon from his deck into his hand. We'll see Octillery and another Vulpix. He does have that Floatstone in hand, so that Octillery will be pretty safe. We see a Staryu, a Field Blower, maybe a card he could have held on to. And we'll see another Power Heater for 30 damage. We'll see evolve into Ninetales. We'll see an evolve into Octillery. Super Scoop Up. Heads, picking up that Vulpix. Allowing Noel to promote that active Alola Ninetales. Don't think there's any energy in the discard pile. Can't use Aqua Patch just yet. And we'll see an Aurora Beam for 160 damage. Was that a knockout? I might have missed the Field Blower. So, we see Staryu active with the Free Retreat. A Rescue Stretcher putting the Volcanion back into hand. And what does Kevin do here? We'll see a Retreat into Tapu Lele and a pass. We see a Rescue Stretcher grabbing a second Ninetales. This setup for Noel is pretty strong now. Tapu Lele not going to be able to do anything to these Ninetales. There's no Volcanion EX on the bench for Kevin. His hand was looking really, really weak, but this N might be able to help him a little bit. If you're Kevin, you're looking for something like Volcanion, Max Elixir, and yep, that's almost exactly what he needs. If he's able to, that bodybuilding dumbbells actually brings that HP out of knockout range. And we'll see a Aurora Beam for 80 damage. You see 2 Max Elixir. Once again, there are 4 energy in the discard already. And it's 5 energy in play, 2 in hand. 5, 6, 7 plus 4. There's 2 energy left in the deck. Let's see if Kevin can hit one of those 2. Assuming any of them aren't prized either. If Kevin can get attachment to this benched Volcanion, he does have the option to Steam Artillery. If he can get a couple of Steam Ups, that'll bring his damage up to 160. Yeah, that should be enough for the knockout. But you gotta hit the Volcanion and the energy though. He has the energy, but not the Volcanion. You do see a Brooklet Hill. You can grab a second Volcanion. There it is. But he might be 1 energy short still. I believe there's 2 in hand. Yeah. If he can rip the energy off this Max Elixir, he might be in a decent position. Oh, there it is. Now, where do you attach this energy to? Onto the other Volcanion. Looks like he's opting just to set up multiple attackers for the rest of the game. Pretty good play too. If you can get energy on those bench Volcanions, hopefully eventually you can take a knockout on Tapu Lele's. You might not have to worry about the Alola Ninetales at all. We'll see a retreat into the Volcanion with the 2 energy. Okay. An attachment for the turn. 1 Steam Up and a Sycamore. Kevin really digging for that second energy. But I believe there should only be 1 energy left in the deck. And we'll see a Field Blower and a Steam Artillery. Going to take the knockout, doing 130 damage. Not quite yet. See Ultra Ball. There is the Starmie. Starmie is the MVP of this deck most of the time. Space Beacon, a really, really powerful ability in Volcanion. We'll see a Steam Artillery for the knockout. Now does Noelle have the knockout in return? We see an Energy, Aqua Patch. So Noelle will be able to get the return knockout here. Abyssal Hand for 3. We do see a Super Scoop Up. So if you want to, you can Super Scoop up one of his Tapu Lele's, or you can hold on to it. And we'll see a Retreat and a Aurora Beam for the knockout. Double Guzma in Kevin's hand. Not quite enough energy in play to take the knockout on really anything just yet. But Starmie will allow Kevin to grab 2 energy from the discard pile. We see a Fighting Fury Belt going on to Tapu Lele. A 3rd Volcanion hitting the field. We'll see a Space Beacon grabbing 2 energy. And we'll see a double Steam Up. Not going to be quite enough just yet. And an N. If Kevin can hit another energy, I think there's 1 left in the deck. Once again, if it's not prized, he'll be able to take a knockout with a Power Heater, which would be really strong. But nope, doesn't look like he hit the energy there. See a Floatstone onto the Starmie. And a Power Heater. Attaching 2 energy to the bench Volcanion. So both players took a small bathroom break. Short bathroom break, took a couple minutes. So we're back into it. Noelle again, damage on this Alola Ninetales. That is active. But still in a really strong position if he's able to knock out this Volcanion. Which shouldn't be a problem. Aurora Beam for the knockout. We'll see the Starmie come up with the Floatstone, giving Kevin free retreat. But the question is there enough energy left in the deck to take the knockout? If my calculations are correct, maybe. We see a Space Beacon discarding 2 fire energy. We can see an attachment to that bench Volcanion. We will need to see at least 1 Steam Up this turn. A Retreat and a Power Heater. So Space Beacon keeping Kevin alive in this game. If it wasn't for the Starmie, he'd only have 1 energy left in the deck, and he can't work that way with the Volcanion. But now Kevin set up his position pretty strong, actually. Something like a Guzma onto the Tapu Lele could be a knockout. Or if he's able to hit a triple Steam Up, he can actually take the knockout on the Alola Ninetales GX. once again, it comes down to having that third energy in hand, though. I guess you would need a fourth one at this moment. So maybe taking the knockout onto the Tapu Lele might be a little bit of a stronger play. We do see Noelle with the Guzma in hand and a Choice Band Super Scoop Up. So we could see a Super Scoop Up here, maybe. We see another Vulpix coming into play. We might see an Abyssal Hand. Yep. Tapu Koko hitting the field. And a Super Scoop Up. Trying to pick up this active. Nope. And that is a Tails. Not a Ninetales, but just a regular Tails. And I'm sorry if you can hear the train in the background. I can't control the trains. Back onto Kevin's turn. It's just a pass from Noelle. So Kevin has an opportunity here to get set up even further. Get energy onto his bench Volcanions. That'll leave him with enough energy to take a knockout with a Space Beacon. So we do see a Brooklyn Hill hit the field. Stupid train. And dogs. But we'll just see a Space Beacon, discarding the Kiawe, get back 2 energy from this hand. And once again, I apologize for the train. We will see an attachment onto the Volcanion. I think here just a power heater without discarding the energy. Never mind. We'll see we'll kind of keep for the knockout, taking the knockout on the Tapu Lele. A double colorless going onto that bench Ninetales, and then we'll see a Choice Band and an Aqua Patch. Going to be able to take the knockout onto this Volcanion. I believe Noelle has 3 prizes left, so it's not quite game. So we can see Tapu Koko with a free retreat and an N, putting Kevin down to 2 cards. So the question is, once again, is there enough energy left to be able to knock out these Ninetales with that volcanic or the power heater? Sorry. We'll see a retreat and a Aurora Beam for the knockout, doing 220 damage with that Choice Band. If Kevin can find his 4th Volcanion and 1 energy and a Space Beacon, he will be able to take the knockout, but once again, it looks like that Alola Ninetales GX on the bench will be able to win the game. And yeah, Kevin just concedes the game. So that was